In the year 1034, in a small village outside York, England, a peasant begins his day by consuming a thick slice of dark bread. This single food source provides nearly 70% of his total daily calories, fueling his intense physical labor. He works from dawn until dusk, hauling heavy stones and plowing rugged fields to build cathedrals that still stand today. Despite this massive intake of wheat, historical records show no evidence of the metabolic epidemics that define the modern era. Fast forward to the present day, where 1 in 3 adults is classified as pre-diabetic. Celiac disease has increased by 400% since the 1950s, leaving millions suffering from chronic inflammation and digestive distress. Millions more suffer from non-celiac gluten sensitivity, experiencing constant bloating, brain fog, and joint pain. The question arises, why did our ancestors thrive on the very substance that now seems to make us sick? The answer lies in the realization that modern bread is no longer the staff of life. It has been transformed into an industrialized food product designed for corporate profit rather than human nutrition. The medieval peasant possessed a fundamental understanding of wheat that the modern food industry has intentionally obscured. By examining the ingredients of a standard supermarket loaf, the scale of this change becomes immediately apparent. Modern bread often contains enriched wheat flour, which is a code term for grain stripped of its most valuable components. It is then injected with synthetic vitamins to meet the bare legal minimums for human consumption. Most commercial loaves also contain high fructose corn syrup, soybean oil, and chemical additives like azodicarbonamide. This specific chemical is also used in the production of yoga mats and shoe rubber, highlighting its non-food origins. In contrast, medieval bread consisted of only 3 primary ingredients: flour, water, and salt. Occasionally, a natural leaven or wild yeast was added to facilitate the rising process. Modern industrial bread requires 20 to 30 ingredients simply to maintain its softness on a grocery shelf for several weeks. This shift began at the genetic level with the introduction of miracle wheat in the 1960s. Scientist Norman Borlaug developed semi-dwarf wheat, which featured shorter stalks and significantly higher yields per acre. While this green revolution fed millions, it prioritized quantity over the nutritional value and digestibility of the grain. Plant breeders introduced genetic changes that altered the gluten structure and ramped up compounds like lectins and phytates. These elements are designed to protect the plant, but can interfere heavily with human nutrient absorption. Ancient wheat varieties like einkorn possessed only 14 chromosomes, representing the simplest genetic structure of the grain. Modern bread wheat has been engineered to contain 42 chromosomes, creating a complex protein structure our bodies struggle to recognize. Studies indicate that modern wheat triggers significantly higher immune responses than heritage varieties. Your body often perceives these engineered proteins as foreign invaders, leading to systemic inflammation. The methods used to process the grain have also undergone a radical and damaging transformation. Medieval flour was traditionally stone ground, a slow process that kept the entire wheat kernel intact. This ensured that the bran, germ, and endosperm were ground together, preserving essential fiber and B vitamins. Healthy fats and minerals like magnesium and zinc remained present in every loaf produced. The introduction of roller milling in the 1870s allowed for the removal of the bran and germ. This was done primarily to extend shelf life, as the oils in the germ tend to go rancid over time. What remains is pure white endosperm, which is essentially pure starch with a damaged protein structure. This flour is then bleached with chemicals like chlorine gas to achieve a stark white appearance. To compensate for the loss, manufacturers add back a small fraction of the destroyed nutrients. This is the origin of the term enriched, though it falls far short of the original grain's value. Perhaps the most significant loss in the modern era is the abandonment of slow fermentation. Medieval bakers allowed their dough to rest and ferment for 12 to 24 hours using natural bacteria. This process was a nutritional necessity, as the bacteria essentially pre-digested the bread for the consumer. During this time, the gluten was broken down and phytates were neutralized by the acidic environment. Modern supermarket loaves are mixed, risen, and baked in under 3 hours. This leaves the raw, reactive proteins and anti-nutrients fully intact when they reach your digestive system. The result is a product that behaves in your body like pure sugar rather than a complex carbohydrate. The glycemic index of white bread is 75, which is higher than table sugar at 65. This causes a rapid spike in blood glucose, forcing the pancreas to dump insulin into the bloodstream. The subsequent crash leaves you feeling hungry and fatigued only an hour after eating. Over several years, this repetitive cycle leads to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Medieval bread, with its intact fiber and slow fermentation, provided a much more stable and sustained energy release. To understand the resilience of the medieval peasant, we must look at the fields where landrace varieties grew. These wheat strains were adapted over centuries to local soil and specific climate conditions. Varieties like einkorn, emmer, and spelt provided a diverse genetic pool that ensured crop survival. This genetic diversity translated into a superior nutritional profile compared to modern monocultures. Einkorn contains 30% more protein than modern wheat and 4 times more beta-carotene. It also features high levels of lutein, an antioxidant that supports eye and brain health. The weak gluten structure of einkorn makes it much easier for the human gut to process. Research suggests that many people with gluten sensitivity can consume einkorn without experiencing any negative symptoms. Medieval mills, powered by water or wind, generated very little heat during the grinding process. This preserved delicate oils like vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids that are vital for heart health. Modern steel rollers operate at high speeds and temperatures, destroying these oils almost instantly. The resulting fine powder is absorbed by the body too quickly, further contributing to metabolic stress. The sourdough culture used by medieval bakers was a living ecosystem passed down through generations. These lactic acid bacteria produced organic acids that activated enzymes to unlock minerals like iron and calcium. This transformation made the nutrients bioavailable, turning the bread into a complete source of nourishment. The peasant eating 2 pounds of bread was receiving a balanced diet of protein, fats, and minerals. The modern wheat disaster is compounded by the heavy use of chemical additives in the field. Herbicides and fungicides are applied throughout the growing cycle to maximize efficiency. Pre-harvest desiccation is a particularly troubling practice where farmers spray wheat with glyphosate. This chemical dries the plant out to make the harvest faster and more uniform for industrial machinery. Glyphosate residue has been found in over 70% of non-organic wheat products. This substance is known to disrupt the gut microbiome, killing the beneficial bacteria needed for proper digestion. Medieval wheat never encountered these chemicals, as it was grown in soil enriched only by manure and crop rotation. The grain was harvested by hand and stored in clean, dry environments. Heritage varieties contain 25% more protein and higher levels of selenium than their modern counterparts. These minerals are essential for thyroid function and overall immune system strength. When the bran and germ are removed, 80% of the plant's total nutrients are lost. What remains is a nutritionally bankrupt starch that the body treats as an inflammatory toxin. Recent experiments have shown that switching to ancient grains can significantly improve health outcomes. Patients with irritable bowel syndrome reported an 80% improvement in symptoms after switching to stone-ground einkorn. The issue was never the wheat itself, but the aggressive industrial processing it underwent. There is a growing movement of bakers reviving heritage grains and traditional fermentation methods. These craftsmen are not selling nostalgia, they are producing real food that the human body recognizes. This shift away from industrialization occurred rapidly after World War II to feed a growing population. While bread became cheaper and more available, the hidden cost was the explosion of chronic disease. Type 2 diabetes rates have increased by 700% since the adoption of industrial wheat. The food industry often blames the individual for a lack of willpower or a defective digestive system. However, the timeline of these diseases matches the introduction of industrial bread perfectly. You are not gluten intolerant. You are reacting normally to an abnormal engineered product. Medieval bread did not require a warning label because it was a natural extension of the environment. To reclaim your health, you can seek out bakers who prioritize heritage wheat and stone milling. Learning to maintain a sourdough starter at home is another powerful way to return to traditional nutrition. Alternatively, replacing modern bread with whole grains like barley or buckwheat can reduce the inflammatory load. The goal is to recognize that the medieval peasant staple was fundamentally different from the modern loaf. By choosing real bread, you are reclaiming ancient knowledge that supported human health for millennia. Understanding the difference between food and industrial products is the first step towards true vitality. We must demand a return to transparency and quality in our food systems. Subscribe to our channel as we continue to explore the forgotten history of the things we consume every day. Discover more history by watching the next video. We're eager to share more with you. You can't go wrong. All our videos are deeply detailed, dull while fascinating, and distinctly sleep-inducing.